You can't check into the Hollywood Hotel, but you can find Hollywood Hotel and NASCAR on Fox merchandise at foxsports.com. Chris Myers, I know that music. Well, Chris and Jeff, maybe they're a stooge short down there tonight.
Well, we have plenty to choose from up in the booth. So we can have our own FX Series 5 Stooges.
That's exactly right. We might be a couple of jokers, but they're 3 Stooges. I mean, come on.
All right, look. So far we've had Kurt Busch win the second segment, Tony Stewart the first segment, and the race-in spot. Jeff Burton still alive in this thing as we have just 20 laps to go, and really 12 cars. Although we just got word that Terry Labonte in the 5 car is going to repair and at least get out there. So 13 cars remaining, going for $1 million.
I think Jeff Burton kind of summed it up when I asked him earlier. Always expect the unexpected when it comes to the Winston. And so far, everything that's kind of played out tonight has been pretty much unexpected. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, and we had in that wreck, which we'll show you, 4 past winners involved. But let's check in. Steve Burns is with Bill Elliott. Steve?
Yeah, Chris, he's been taken, being transported to a local hospital. He's complaining of pain to his left foot. He was alert, conscious, and actually smiling inside the emergency vehicle, but he is being taken to a nearby hospital for further examination.
All right, thanks, Steve. And that was at the end of the second segment where we had Tony Stewart, and you heard his description of what happened with Terry Labonte. 6 cars involved in this, and actually 4 former winners of the Winston Open. But let's go back and show you. When we restart this last segment here, it'll be Sterling Marlin starting first, and then Jeff Gordon. And these two got into it early in this segment on lap 6.
Yeah, it's really been some aggressive racing so far, and you see right there he kind of got together with Sterling. Later on, he got together with Ward Burton down the back straightaway, and Ward caught the outside wall and was complaining about Jeff pretty much beating him all the way down that back straightaway.
And closing out the second segment here, there's Terry Labonte, the sparks fly, and this is where Bill Elliott was injured, and you heard Steve's report moments ago. And so we stand now with just 20 laps remaining and 13 cars remaining. Let's check in with Matt Yoakum, who is with the Robbie Loomis. Matt?
Chris, a major repair job has been completed on that right front fender. Now, you look like a proud father looking at your work.
Phew, speaking of proud father, I tell you, the Winston brings out all the emotions. I mean, you know, a couple years ago, went from the lowest low to the highest high. Tonight, we were sitting there with 2 to go, and it wasn't looking very good for us. But the determination of this team, Jeff Gordon, DuPont, I mean, really an effort. It's just going to be exciting being up front there.
How good is that car going to be now?
I tell you what, the car, you know, got extremely tight. The right front fender was messed up real bad. The guys dolled it out, got it looking real good. CC Kieran, the guys, I think, will be in good shape.
He's got a great place to restart from. Mike?
The things we've seen tonight, and 20 laps to go, $1 million to win, just over $200,000 for second place with Larry McReynolds and Darrell Waltrip. We've seen it all tonight, and you expect the unexpected. You don't expect to see Jeff Gordon running over people. That's what we've seen tonight. You don't expect to see 4 former winners pile up in one crash. That's what we've seen tonight. You don't expect to see Rusty Wallace go home in the first segment. We've seen that. Wow. Night of surprises.
It just the hits just keep coming. It's not over with yet. And like I said in the beginning, when they said they were going to transfer 14, I thought that was being pretty optimistic because I didn't think 14 would make it.
And, you know, that's probably not a bad move trying to get Terry Labonte back out there in the 5 car because the way this is going, stay about a half a lap back. You'll probably end up with a pretty good finish in this thing.
Yeah, we still got a lot of action to go here, folks. Don't go away.
Well, that's why I asked you earlier during commercial if the pace car could transfer from the Winston Open.
It would work now because they're 1 short.
20 laps to go, $1 million to the winner. Don't move. Welcome back to Lowe's Motor Speedway, the Winston. Stock Car Racing's all-star night getting set for its final 20-lap segment. Here's Steve Burns.
With Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale, we listened to you struggle a lot tonight. You put a spring rubber in, took it out, just couldn't get that car right.
Yeah, we struggled all night with the car. We made a lot of pit stops. We weren't good enough to win, and that's kind of our motto in the Winston is if, you know, first pays the most by far, so we got to do what we can to get the car to where it's fast enough to win. Then we'll worry about trying to win. We weren't good enough to win where we're at, but that's really the first car we tore up this year. I've had so many people, my buddies in the Busch Series and Bobby Bonham and them guys come to me for like sheet metal and stuff for all the charities, and I ain't had nothing to give them to them. So now we got a whole car we can cut off. But, you know, it's kind of a bummer for the guys because they put a lot of heart in it. It's a brand new car, but we'll just you know, you can't complain because you're coming in here, you know you got that, there's a big chance you're going to come out of here with a tore-up race car, so you really can't complain now. But we had fun. I had a lot of fun while I was lasting.
No consolation, but a short ride home.
Yeah, short ride home. Old Tony Stewart's going to give me a ride in his new helicopter, so we'll check it out.
Thanks, Dale. Back upstairs.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team second in the McDonald's drive-through championship, fueled by Powerade. That resumes next week at the Coke 600.
Lost $1 million, tore up my race car. I'm just going to get on my helicopter and go home.
Kurt Busch is fourth in this deal, and he and Jimmy Fennig discuss race strategy for this final segment.
Just hang out there for a little bit. Let them get mixing it up, because you can't pass them right away until they sort themselves out and then go. All right, I was thinking we could pass cars right away, but I don't know about getting them on the long run. We'll see what happens.
I totally agree with Kurt. Got to get them now. They're bunched up. Get them now. You can't let them get strung out. You don't have enough time. Go.
Is the car tore up?
Right front fender's tore up a little bit. Yeah, the right front fender's a little bit. Got to fix pretty good shape.
So you're okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all right?
Ready to do it, baby. You ready?
It's going to be exciting, isn't it?
Oh, boy.
Your boy's been on a mission tonight, hasn't he?
The Winston. Woo.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck. Be careful.
In good shape?
Our car's pretty decent.
Real fast.
Well, we'll see what happens now, but.
Lowe's Motor Speedway. That's it, baby.
House payment.
That's right.
Well, now remember, these two guys work in the same shop with each other. They are actual teammates, and Chad Knaus was being a little bit timid, asking him, look, are you going to be able to go, or can we go by you when this green flag comes out?
Right, because his driver, Jimmy Johnson, is going to start right behind Jeff Gordon.
And I got a feeling they fixed that fender real good.
That's normally the order of business.
14 cars are scheduled to start the final 20-lap segment. And here they are with the top 10 inverted. Remember, Kurt Busch was leading after segment 2. So Marlin and Gordon, Craven and Johnson, Nemechek and Waltrip, Kenseth and Harvick, Labonte and Busch. And behind them, Jeff Burton and Ricky Rudd. Both Terry Labonte's and Tony Stewart's cars were eligible, but damaged too much to repair. So now it's down to 12 cars, and only the green flag laps count.
Yeah, no mandatory pit stops. And again, that was originally going to be 14 cars. Now it's only 12.
Yeah, and neither one of those cars. Sterling's car is not that good. Jeff Gordon's car hadn't been that good. The cat I think to watch is the 48 car.
Right after tonight's race, get officially licensed NASCAR products right here on FX after the Winston. It's NASCAR Fan Shop from QVC.
The other car to watch is that 97.
Steve Burns.
Well, guys, we heard I'm sorry, not Lee McCall, Tony Glover, the team manager for Sterling Marlin. He said, boys, here's what we're going to do in this order. 1 pound in the left front, track bar down, put rubber in, fix fenders, win $1 million. Let's go to Dick.
When Bobby Labonte pitted last, the crew pulled out the rev limiter chip. He had been turning 9,300. There is now no limit on how tight they're going to turn the engine. It's go or blow in car number 18.
Well, I guarantee you we're going to see the quickest laps of this race coming up right here in this final 20 laps.
And in 1985, when I won this race, that was our strategy. Go or blow. We did both.
That's right. You won the race and blew up at the checkered flag.
But that was what Junior said. We go and we blow.
And they have a rev limiter that has a chip in it that cuts the cylinders out just to keep it from turning so many RPMs.
Here's your final Denny's secret code for the evening in the Taste Victory Sweepstakes. If this is your code, you'll get a phone call tomorrow and you'll go to a race later this season.
Just like every other restart, this will be a double file restart.
It's more like a heat race now. Granted, it's in reverse. You usually run the feature last. We're going to run the heat race last tonight.
Well, this is the kind of Saturday night short track special that we've been going to for 30-some years. Nothing's different, except maybe the size of the crowd. Oh, and the size of the purse.
Oh, yeah. And did you ever run a race or go to a race where they ran what they called an Australian pursuit?
Yes.
Where if you got past, you were out?
Right.
It wouldn't be a bad philosophy or a bad format for this little race.
It's kind of worked out that way so far, hasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, folks, here we go. 20 laps. $1 million to the winner. Second place, a paltry $200,000.
You ready? And green, 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 green.
Boy, Sterling Marlin brought him down. Kevin Harvick, he jumped to the outside.
And so did Busch.
That happened so quickly, I'm not sure what happened.
And as long as the green flag was displayed, what Kevin Harvick did is perfectly legal. Pass to the right-hand side before the start-finish line on a restart.
I think he just brought them down so slow and so cautiously that I just think that was a bad.
They did not like that restart. The caution is back out.
I just don't. They are notorious for doing this right here. This happened to me a couple of times.
They've waved it off, and you will only see that in the Winston. They have waved off the restart. Remember, only green flag laps count. They will reform the field.
I believe Harvick was a little aggressive on that start. I'm not sure if anything happened in front of him to allow him to do what he did, but he sure did jump by a bunch of cars. Watch this. Look at him. Here he goes. Everybody, those two cars on the
Kurt Busch and the 97 behind him. I think they were aggressive. I think Sterling was under aggressive.
You know what I think they did? I think they waited. I think that Kurt well, I'll get it right here. Harvick waved to Kurt, come on, let's go. And they went together.
And the only thing that kept them from leading into turn one was Jeff Gordon up there on the outside of the front row. So, they'll line them back up and we'll do it again.
That was UGLY.